Welcome to Overgo World, making your life better through tech, vacations and other great things. Remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on our latest videos. We're here today with the BOOX Note Air3 C. So this is a colour e-ink tablet, 10.3 inches. I've purchased the UK Premium Stylus Bundle. So what you get with that is the tablet itself, as well as the cover, as well as some additional tips for the stylus, and then also the premium stylus as well. So we're just going to unbox this so you can see what's inside, and then we'll take a look at the product. So I've removed everything out of this box, and what we have is this e-ink tablet. So it's a 10.3 inch BOOX e-ink tablet. With the tablet you also get a stylus. As I've mentioned, I've gone with this the sort of premium pack, which includes this premium stylus. So I'll have a look at what the main difference is between the two. But if you don't go with the premium pack, the standard, it does come with a stylus. There are also some spare marker tips. So there's 5 marker tips with a removal tool. It's also come with this, which looks like a SIM card remover, but since it doesn't take a SIM card, we'll have to sort of see, when I have a look at this, what the purpose of that is, because I've had a quick look in the quick start guide which comes with it, and it's got no mention of that. And then it also comes with a charging cable, so it's USB with USB-C connector. No plug, so you've got to provide your own plug. But hopefully you've got one of those lying around for your mobile phone or other tablets. And then there's the case itself as well for the tablet. So what I'm going to do is I am going to charge up the tablet, get it all set up, and then once I've got it all charged up, I'll show you some of the features. Okay, we're back. So I've been having a look at this BOOX color device. And I have to say, I'm actually quite disappointed. It hasn't lived up to my expectations. Now, I said I was going to unbox it, have a look at it. And it is, in terms of the functionality, it's very much like the BOOX Tab. And I'll include a link at the bottom so you can see the functionality of the BOOX products. Because generally for reading PDFs, they are good products. But the thing that I was excited about with this colour e-ink was to be able to view colour PDFs and also sort of articles in colour view. Now, I knew it wasn't going to be up to the same kind of level as what you get on a normal tablet. But as you can see here, the colours are quite washed out. So what I've actually put up here is an article here. And what I just want to show you in terms of comparison is what I've got next to it here is on my iPad mini. So that's the article. You can see the colour and you can see the difference that you're going to expect. It's not minor in terms of the actual colour display. It is actually quite significant in terms of the way that this is washed out. You don't get that colour effect. And if we look over here, so this is my BOOX Tab, the larger product which I've reviewed, and that's in black and white. And I have to say, looking at these three, if I was reading this article, I'd prefer it on my iPad mini. If I didn't have my iPad mini, to be honest, I'd rather read it in black and white on this product rather than the colour e-ink BOOX. And the reason why is because you get a lot of ghosting. You can already sort of see that on there. You can see the amount of ghosting on there in this product. Now, you get ghosting anyway with e-ink, but with colour, the ghosting is just significantly more. Now, you can change the refresh rates, but let me just show you. So I've got this set up on ultra fast. Now, if I zoom in and you have a look at this, and I've zoomed in there, you can see all the ghosting still at the back. If I zoom in on this one here, again, because it is in black and white, it's not as bad. While here you can sort of see all the background there and it's distracting. If I go over onto my iPad mini, and obviously with this you're not going to get any ghosting, and it's quite clear. So if you're going to be buying a product for actually reading magazines, or you know, and you're looking for sort of a color version of that, I can't at the moment say that the BOOX is going to do that. if you're reading documents as well, what you'll notice with this is that you're going to have to actually set up, if you have a look, I've set up the front light to maximum. If I turn that right down to the minimum, you can see what happens there. Look how dark that is. So that's the other problem with this, that you've got to actually have the front light set up quite high. There you can sort of see. If I go back over to my my black and white device here, if you have a look, that's the front light was completely off. So if you do a light for light comparison of this article, front light completely off here, that's what it looks like. Front light off here, you can see there the comparison there, that it's just unworkable without a front light on. So if I turn the front light on here to make it more readable, as you can see, I've got to have it quite high, to be honest. Probably, you know, that's, there we go, we're going up to full light on the front light. So there's two things there. By having the front light on that high, one, you're zapping the battery, and two, you're not getting that natural feel. Now if I go onto my black and white books here and I turn on, because I do occasionally have the front light, but you can see that you don't have to do much. If I went 100% on that, that's how much it would be, and that's too bright for me. And comfortable on here, you know, even with 50%, but you could even read it at a low light, while with this it's just not doable. And as I say, on the iPad, if you're looking for that colour experience, you know, it is a considerably marked difference if you're used to looking at things on the iPad and then doing this. And as you can see when I'm zooming out on this, the amount of ghosting on here is absolutely ridiculous. That you sort of see. Can you see that in the background? There's loads of ghosting there that you can sort of see. Obviously you can refresh it. So if I refresh this and put it in a different refresh mode, so let me just do that now. So if I go back and just show you what it is with a different refresh. So this is ultra fast, which is the fastest speed. If you go with something, so here you go, which is HD mode. So it says good effect, display effect suitable for general reading, and I go back into there. If you can see now, when you reducing the ghosting, what it's doing is doing a refreshing, and that's just awful reading experience like that. If I go into the regal mode, so if I just click on that again, so it says regal mode, minimal ghosting, slight flickering on dark background, suitable for light coloured backgrounds. So if I'm looking at it like now, so what it'll do is it'll get rid of the ghosting, but you get that sort of black and white shudder type effect every time you move. So every time you're moving this, you're getting that horrible effect. Obviously comparing it to normal iPad, because it's not e-ink, you don't have any of that, you can read around, and that's much more natural type of experience. If I go over here to my tab, put that on, say, HD mode, put that in there, and I refresh, again you get that sort of black and white, but it's not the type of experience you want when you're reading. So when I'm normally reading, whether it's PDFs or anything else, I prefer having it in a fast or ultra fast mode, simply because I can zip around the file and I don't have that sort of stuttering effect that you get with this, where you'd have it in that sort of so as you can see when I'm zooming in and out, it's more natural, but all of this ghosting is in the background. You'll have to constantly refresh, and refreshing obviously means, so if I just flick this up again, and I will show you, and sometimes it's a little bit temperamental on, even as you can sort of already see, it's a little bit temperamental. So if I go back in and I want to refresh it, there we go, here's the refresh. I have to press that and it does that. It's a sort of, and if you're reading a large article, a large magazine, that isn't what you want to do. So that's a sort of magazine mode. It'll be a similar thing with PDFs. I will very quickly show you a PDF on all three as well. So what I've done here now is I've opened the same document on 3 different devices. So this is, I've moved over from my iPad mini to my iPad Pro, so it's sort of more of a similar size for the PDF. I've set this to the, as you can sort of see, the front light is off at the moment, so you can hardly read it. On here you can see front light is off and it's much clearer. So if you just look at the two, the text here, where it says link here and the text, that even without the front light off, you can read it. So it's what you're meant to get with an e-ink type experience. Here, it'd be very difficult to sort of read that. Again, you're going to need to turn the front light on. And again, turning it on, where am I comfortable? I'm probably around about there. So it's, as you can see, almost full on the front light. If I turn it fully up, that's what it'll be like. And it's just a little bit too bright on there, but I'm probably around about there. On the iPad here, you can see again the difference in colors here, completely washed out here as opposed to what you've got here. I've set this again on ultra fast so I can just sort of go through and have a look, and as you can sort of see the ghosting behind when I'm sort of moving it there. If I move it on the iPad, you can sort of see what it should be looking like. Now if we look on this here, again, this is with no lighting. So this is the sort of difference there. If you've got a lot of color, you're probably going to want the iPad rather than this. I think that the benefit you get with the color on this just isn't good enough to sort of warrant it. With this, there are obviously settings that you can sort of change the enhancements. So if you want to sort of increase or decrease the text to make it easier to sort of read on some of these, you can sort of do that by adjusting this to make it darker or lighter. Where you do it on this one, if we go on to that, again, if I go on to there, you can see it doesn't really, if I lower it right down here, and I'm changing some of these here, you're messing around quite a lot to try to get to a setting that you like. But again, those colors are nowhere near as representative as what you get here. So you kind of got a greeny color here while it's sort of gray here, and also the writing. And if I'm zooming in now onto this and looking at it again, and I'm moving around quite quickly, it's not too bad here, but you can see the sort of ghosting behind. If I go back over here and I read this, although you have ghosting, it's much easier to read. So if you've got black and white, that's what it is. In the last week, what I've been looking to do, especially with documents on this when I'm going through, because of the amount of floodlight, the front light that you need to use, and a lot of PDFs, if you're honest, a lot of it is black and white. There's only a small amount in colour that you normally need. So if colour isn't a big thing, I've been almost wanting to sort of reduce this down to get it to this kind of level. And I've actually been reverting to my old BOOX device, my black and white tab device, because it's just so much easier on the eyes. I can go through a large document. If it's an 80-page document, it's easier to read on that. I wouldn't want to read an 80-page document on this. If it involved colour, I'd rather go to the iPad. So in summary, I'd say the BOOX e-ink colour device isn't the right device to go with. The other weird thing with this is if you go into a setting, a lot of the settings are actually, when you have a look at the icons, they're actually in foreign script. So they're not in English. I've always had some concerns with using any of these devices for anything which is sort of personal. So I wouldn't be using this to make any notes which are personal. If it's reading an academic paper or something else, no problem. But I wouldn't be uploading onto these devices anything personal. iPad, I don't have that issue, simply because all of the information on here still does go back to China. And if you have a look at their privacy policies and everything else, it does give me some concerns with regard to the amount of information that's going back, and also when you have a look at some of their settings. We hope you enjoyed watching this, so please feel free to hit the like button and remember to subscribe for great upcoming videos. Thank you and see you next time.